Hey, good evening, everybody. This is going to be quite a night. Good evening, everyone coming in here. You might have heard about this event through TikTok. Good evening, Johnny Miller, Sarah Davis, thanks for the likes. Say Watt 267, Marinee, good to have you with us. Courtney, everybody all over the world coming in here on a Friday night. And even though John Connors cannot be with us, I've been talking to him earlier. And he and I were talking, and he went on the AM radio band, and he heard my voice come in Arizona on AM radio band 850 AM in Arizona. Good evening, everybody. I'm still trying to figure that all out. My voice comes over the AM radio in Arizona on 850 AM. So that was a clear frequency. Divine Light Code, welcome. L1NZ1, Belfast, welcome. I've been really amped up here, and it's going to be interesting. Chesno will be coming in. Chesno's here. I'm going to bring Chesno on here. And we're talking with John about coordinates. The space people, I think, have the coordinates for where I am in Connecticut now. Godico and his group. Hey, Chesno, good evening.
Hey, Commander, how's it going?
Good. How about you?
Pretty good.
Yeah, pretty amped
So
up here.
I heard Connor. Yeah, so is Connor back on again, or?
Oh, he's not on yet, but we're working.
Not
We
on
want
yet?
everybody to keep going after TikTok on your profile. You can contact TikTok. Want everyone to contact them continually. Keep sending them TikTok messages to reinstate John Connor back on TikTok, and that's important. John Connor and I were actually earlier this evening. I was online with him on the phone, and he went on the AM radio, and he heard my voice coming in on the AM band on 850 in Arizona, whatever that is out there. So once we knew that, I'm thinking that is going to be the frequency, 850 AM here. We're also going to do some experiments here tonight. I've also put a protection around the broadcast. I've asked the Ashtar Command, Kadar Manka, my contact telepathically in the command, to protect the broadcast and to really amp up the energies. And if you're not here, you're going to probably miss a lot. If this thing's been promoted for a few days, so anyone who's not here is going to end up missing a lot. We don't know exactly what's going to happen. I just want to make clear we don't channel anything. We're not putting in fake audio voices on here. What is going to happen will be documented and recorded from the live. Okay. And John Connors had sent me an audio of Godico speaking in English. And I was listening to it. I'm going to take it to the radio station and have my person that does a Beatles show get in our Studio B. We're going to amplify the audio louder and see if we could. It sounded in English. You might make it divine. That's okay. But for those that are here, it's going to be interesting. One of the things we're going to do tonight is we're going to ask when we start, and I keep feeling that they're ready on their spaceship to communicate with us with however they communicate their way on their ship to Earth. But we're going to do two things. We'll do the radio frequency after we do this. But I'm going to say to Godico, who I'm sure can hear me from here, that we are ready for transmission. I'm going to speak in a very different way here because we're doing something really different. So I'm not just speaking as a talk show host. of encounters. I'm speaking as a galactic human being to another galactic being, right? So we're going to focus all our energies on Godico, every single person out here, wherever you are, wherever part of the world you're in. I don't care if you're in the Middle East, Asia, Africa, we're going to focus. And when you close your eyes and focus, we're going to put intentions of good intent, unconditional love, and send it to the beings from that world on their ship. Their ship is not far from Earth. Their coordinates are, I'm getting close. I'm feeling they're close. I don't know exactly where they are, but I'm feeling they're close. That's what I keep feeling. I always go with my feelings. My gut feelings tell me everything. I don't second guess anything. I don't overthink anything. I don't, whatever. Okay. So tonight, we're going to see what transpires. And, I talked to John Connor. I said, we're going to make this happen. They want to communicate with us. Nothing's going to block us. TikTok's not going to stop it. Nothing's going to stop it. You can't stop something that's
Right.
supposed to happen, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Chesno knows. The government can try to stop it. They can't stop it. The DOD can try to stop it. They can't stop it. They wanted to make communications with us, and they came to me through music a few weeks ago. They want to be here with us. We're not doing any interviews or putting people on here tonight, so that's not happening. Other nights we'll do that. I've got to stay very, very focused here. Okay, I've got to. I can't be distracted by different opinions, viewpoints, and everything else. That's for another night.
Mm-hmm.
This is a special event. So I want everyone to focus with good intentions. I want my moderators to keep themselves aware. If anybody tries to troll this broadcast, they're to be blocked. We're not going to let any negative energies in here, any funny jokers or whatever. So we're going to get ready to do this. I want everyone to close their eyes for a moment as more people come in. I ask that the Christed beings of light and the Ashtar Command assist us in this communications. My space brothers and sisters of the great cosmic levels of understanding, that we have clear frequency and open frequency of communications with Godico, and that Godico has clear communications with his people, with us. Let the frequencies be open for specifically contact with our space brother Godico and his space people. From the star system Sirius constellation, we send our greetings and love from Earth. Our greetings and love from Earth. So Godico, I ask you, do you hear me? And then we're going to go switch to radio frequency. Godico, can you hear me? Please respond. Godico, if you hear me, please respond. This is CmdrAleon. Please respond. Godico, are you there?
I don't hear nothing.
I don't hear anything either. We're going to go to, we will switch for different things. We're going to go to, I think, a radio frequency. We're going to start with one radio frequency. I don't know what it's going to be like, but AM 850. Chesno, I think AM 850 is where John Connors and I earlier were getting clear communications in terms of the frequency. I don't know what's
You want me to get that going?
Yeah, let's get that going.
You want me to get that going now?
Yeah, we'll get that going. We'll switch back to both things, and we're going to see what happens here. Opal Star, good to see you. Blessings, everybody. So we're going to try two different frequencies. And blessings, Victoria. Blessings, everybody coming in here. Once we have the radio frequency set to 850, a matter of fact, if anyone has an AM radio, you can set it to 850 where you are, wherever you are. Again, understand they operate on frequency. The whole universe operates on frequencies. And we're going to attempt communications through frequency.
Can you hear it?
Yeah, I do. So we're on the right frequency. Can you download an AM radio on your phone? Probably. I've never thought of that before. So we're on 850 right now. There's a little bit of music. Is there like musical interference coming in and out on 850?
I don't hear any.
You don't hear any music? Okay.
You?
No.
No.
So we're gonna use 850. We'll turn up a little bit. And that is the frequency that they will communicate on. Gatico, can you hear me? Gatico, can you hear me? Gatico, we're on AM 50, 850 AM radio. Gatico. Gatico, if you're there, please speak. Gatico, please speak if you hear me. Gatico, if you can hear me, please speak. And again, when we do this tonight, we're experimenting. There's no absolutes here. But we are going to make the attempt, even though John Connor cannot be on here, we're going to make the attempt to communicate. Gatico, can you hear me? This is CmdrAleon speaking. Gatico, can you hear me? Do you hear anything coming through the AM side of the radio? No?
Mm-mm.
Gatico, can you hear me? Now, I'm being repetitious because I'm trying to make communications. So you think, what's he doing? I'm being repetitious to make the communications. Gatico, can you hear me? Gatico, come in, please. Can you hear me?
The frequency keeps going. You hear that?
Yeah, it's changing.
Keeps getting more Yeah, the static is getting more intense, and then it's dying out and getting more intense.
Yeah, the static gets more intense. They're going to operate and communicate with us with more static. So I'm going to keep repeating myself. Gatico, can you hear me? Please come through. Please. Whatever you need to do on your ship, please come through with your communications devices. Gatico, can you hear me? You want to turn the volume up? How high can you go? Don't go real high, but Gatico, can you hear me? I don't hear anything.
You hear
Can you
that?
bring it up more? Yeah, bring it up a little bit more. Gatico? Gatico, can you hear me? Gatico, please speak. You hear something coming through?
A little bit.
Gatico, Gatico, can you bring it up more? Let's bring it up. Yeah, that's where we want to be. That's good. Gatico, can you hear me? Gatico, can you hear me? Gatico, can you hear me? Gatico. Gatico, please speak. This is CmdrAleon communicating, trying to communicate with you. Gatico, can you hear me? Can you please speak? Looks like something's trying to come through a little bit. Gatico, can you hear me? Gatico, can you hear me? I think there's a radio station kind of interfering a little bit.
You want me to move it down a little bit?
Down just a little bit. Okay, so we're a little bit away from the interference. But there is other things happening. Godico, can you hear me? Yeah. Yeah, I know there's some musical interference in Connecticut out of some station. Godico, can you hear me? Godico, this is CmdrAleon. Can you hear me? There's a lot of radio interference. Okay, let's go to the other frequency, 1710. We're going to switch frequencies here.
This is the one we had luck with the first time.
Yeah, 1710 here is the place where we had the contact. If we were with John Connors on the Arizona level, it's a 8:50 a.m. So we're going to bring it up here on 1710 a.m. on the frequency and see if we communicate with Godico on this frequency. So again, everything is based on a frequency of operation, and that's what we're. Okay, here we go.
Hear that?
Oh yeah, that's weird. Well, there's other stations. Oh yeah, there's radio stations coming in. What frequency are you on now? 1710?
Yeah.
Okay. Can we go slightly up more? Wow. Okay, we'll try this frequency here. I got my headphones on here. Godico, can you hear me? Godico, can you hear me? This is CmdrAleon. Godico, can you hear me? Please come in. There's a lot of radio interference coming in.
You know, it's raining out.
Yeah, we didn't have that kind of last time. Well, the last time we didn't have that interference. We had a lot of other stuff going on.
I think weather has something to do with it. Cloud cover, maybe.
Okay, so we're going to play around with frequencies here. We're trying to find a clear frequency for communications. That's what we're doing. Chesno is going to try to find a clear frequency. Once we get a clear frequency, then we're going to try to do this.
What about this? You hear that?
Okay, that sounds okay. I don't know, where are you now? Is that 17?
Below 1710, like
below. Okay.
Yeah, probably like 1680.
Okay, we'll go with that. Godico, everyone focus their energy and their focus on communications, all of us together, like a super consciousness. Godico, this is CmdRAleon speaking. If you can hear me, please respond. Godico, can you hear me? This is CmdRAleon. Please come through the radio. Please break through all the distortion and music. Please come through. Please come through. Please communicate. Godico, can you hear me? Please communicate. Please communicate. I know the music's going down. I know you're going to come through. You can actually override the radio station. You can override the radio station. Godico. Godico, do you hear me? Do you hear me, Godico? Does anybody hear anything yet, or is it still the music coming through? It's really a lot of that happening. Nothing yet. Very faint. And like I said, we are experimenting tonight, folks. We'll do the best we can. Grace, good evening. Yeah, there's a lot of bleed through tonight because of the weather. A lot of bleed through with the weather patterns. It's affecting the frequency. We are trying, so please bear with us. Yeah, we didn't have this interference that other night when Chesno and I were doing the AM radio on the 1710. We had a lot of space noise coming through. Godico, can you hear me? Let's go to Godico. Can you hear me? I'm CmdrAleon. Can you hear me? Yeah, it is. And you notice how the interference is going away a little bit?
It's coming in spurts.
Yeah, it's coming in spurts. Let's clear the channel. Oh, do you feel any energy shift? I am feeling some energy shift right now.
Oh, this might be a good channel. I think this is the one right here.
Yeah.
Right? It's steady. You hear that?
Yeah, that's perfect. That's right there. Clear communications. Godico, can you hear me? Godico, can you hear me? What frequency are you on now?
I'm at 1500.
1500, perfect. Godico, can you hear me? We just adjusted the frequency. Can you hear me? Godico, please come through. This is CmdrAleon, just so I know who's trying to speak to you in outer space. CmdrAleon, calling you, Godico. It's better. We're still getting radio interference. And all the people watching this, if anybody starts hearing anything on your end, let us know. We're just here together in this, and it's really a lot of work. Believe me when I say that.
Commander, are we expecting John Connor on tonight?
John has not been. Wow. Well, that's radio. It sounds like people clapping. It's a radio station. Yeah, it's from a radio station. It's the weather. The weather patterns tonight are affecting bouncing radio waves down into the earth, and it's all this stuff going on. I wish we had a really quiet frequency. What frequency are you on now?
I can read it.
Here we're gonna get Biden versus Trump. What about this?
Okay. That's interesting. Can you bring the audio down just a little bit? That sounds interesting. Down a little bit more? A little bit more? Just a little bit more down. Okay, there you go. Perfect. That sounds like a perfect frequency. It sounds like it's not a radio station. Gatico, can you hear me? Gatico, can you hear me? What frequency on now?
This is 1430.
1430 sounds good. It seems to have an open frequency there. Gatico, can you hear me? Gatico, can you hear me? This is CmdrAleon calling. Gatico, this is CmdrAleon speaking to you. Do you hear me? I know you hear me. Can you communicate and break through the frequency? I want everyone to focus all of their consciousness in one consciousness. It's very important. I want all consciousness focused on one consciousness while a space brother Gatico. Gatico, can you hear me? I know you came through the TikTok the other night briefly. I know you can do it again. Gatico, can you hear me? And for those coming in here, we are experimenting with this. This is relatively new. And we're going to see if we'll come through. Gatico, can you hear me? This is CmdrAleon calling. Gatico, can you hear me? I know you're out there. Do you hear anything coming through at all, or just static? Nothing.
Yeah, just static.
Gia says she hears humming. And again, many of you are the ears of the show tonight. If you do hear anything, take notes. You know, we're all in this together. And we're going to have contact. If we don't have it tonight, it's unusual, but we will have contact. And I want to explain something about this. When John Connors and I are together, unfortunately, TikTok knocked him out, and we're trying to get him back on TikTok. We are like it's like an antenna. Let me explain this. He's a transmitter. I'm a receiver. When we're together, he did a diagram of what that is like. For whatever reason, when Gatico came through playing music on my my app here a few weeks ago in another room, it caught my attention. And at that point, I started to realize, wait a minute, we're having contact. I've been having contact, or what they call contactee, since I was a kid in the 60s. But they were making direct contact. They operate on certain frequency wavelengths. People understand this. Maybe you do. I've tried to educate people about this. Our space brothers and sisters operate on frequencies, just like in the universe. There are many different levels of frequency. When you tune into that right frequency, that's contact. That's what happened. They were looking to make contact. Everything was in the right alignment, the right frequency, and contact occurred. That alignment was there. You know, I'm not going to be disappointed if Gatico does not come through tonight. It's an ongoing process. It's an ongoing experience. I kind of do hear a little bit of something. I don't know if that's static or something else. Gatico,
Can you guys hear it okay?
Yeah. You want to bring it up just a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah. Noel said they heard something. Gatico, are you there? Gatico, are you there? We're listening. And if I don't speak a lot, it's because I'm listening for a response. Yeah, I do hear a little bit of that coming in every once in a while. Do you hear that? You're over there with the radio. Do you hear something static or is there something else?
It's a little static, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to wait. Noel, you're right. So we're just going to wait and listen. We're going to just all listen and focus.
Commander, do we do a protocol? Because I hopped on a little late.
Yeah, I did a protocol before I came on here. I did a protocol that the Ashtar Command protect everybody in this room. I did a protocol of Christ consciousness, and I called in all of my galactic levels to be here.
I'm gonna play some of the music from the CE5 app, some of the
Okay.
tones.
And we're on a very clear frequency. The frequency you got us on, Chesno, is really good. I'm hoping that our space brothers can find the frequency. I'm pretty sure they could. So we're going to listen for them. Gatico, this is CmdrAleon, and we're here to listen to you if you're willing to speak.
Get my speaker.
And again, there's no disappointment if for some reason tonight's experiment didn't work the way we thought it would, because we're going to be doing these things regularly. At least once a week, we're going to be doing communications. Everybody close their eyes, clear your consciousness, and tune in. What was that? I hear a voice coming through now. I hear static. Gadaco, this is CmdrAleon. Gadaco, this is CmdrAleon. Please come in. Gadaco, this is CmdrAleon calling you. Can you hear me? Gadaco, can you hear me? If you're just coming in, this is CmdrAleon of Encounters. This is our special show tonight. We're experimenting with contact with the communications with space people from the star system Sirius. Again, this is an experiment, and we've had good contact for the last few weeks. Tonight, we're trying to see if everything will work out. And also, I would suggest you please follow us for future events that we're doing here. Everything we do here is serious. Our intent is to now facilitate communications, which we started a few weeks ago. Thank you, Loretta. Yeah, Julie, John and I spoke this afternoon, and we are trying to get him back on TikTok. I would ask everybody to go on their profile after the show, go to the contact page for TikTok, and tell TikTok to reinstate John Connor so he can go back on live on TikTok. I want everybody to do that.
Commander, did he get suspended?
He got suspended, but we need everybody to email TikTok, message TikTok, on your profile page after the show. Tell other people who are awakened souls to do the same thing. Everybody needs to do this. I can't stress enough. What I think has happened is, and I'm not a conspiracy theorist, like I said, John is a transmitter, I'm a receiver. He needs to be on here with me many times when we're communicating. Chesno is doing excellent work, and we're doing excellent work here with Chesno. The coordinates are what is important to the space beings, is they go by our coordinates. That's how they communicate. Yeah, he got suspended. So we need to get him back on here.
He doesn't have a backup, huh?
He doesn't have a backup. He wants to get back on with his main account, and I don't blame him.
Yeah, and you still need to build 2,000 people, primarily to get on live. So.
Well, he already has, his original account has over 2.4 million, I think, his original account. So people just need to contact TikTok. On the profile area where your profile is, there's a couple of little lines. You press that, it gives you options for help or support. And everybody needs to go on there and contact TikTok and tell them to get John Connors reinstated. Hey, Levick, good to see you. Good to see everybody in here. I think he told me his original account had a lot of followers on it. I don't remember exactly. Regardless of that, we just need to get him back on. Kelly, welcome. Everybody, Levick, good to see you, brother. I'm going to do this again. I'm being repetitive here for a reason. So I'm not being your normal talk show host of the show. I'm trying to make contact with our space brother. Godico, can you hear me? Godico, please respond on one of these frequencies. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Godico? Please come through. It has to do with the ley lines, something with the ley lines of the Earth. It affects the communications. So we have a ley line here uptown that goes right through here. Where John Connors is, he has a ley line that is coordinated where our ley line is. And it has something to do with the frequencies of communications. Yes, that's right, Johnny. Contact will happen when we least expect it. Everybody take a deep breath. Clear your minds. Take a deep breath for a moment. Breathe in. Breathe out through your nostrils. Let go, let go, let go, let go. Let's focus all of our energy, all of it, everyone. Telepathically focus your energy and say, hello, Godico. Greetings, Godico. Greetings, brother. Greetings. Godico, greetings. So I just shared the live because John Connors is still, his thing is on here. So I'm experimenting with inviting him on here and seeing what happens. I don't know that I know he's not able to get on, but I invited him anyway.
Well, we normally do have more success with John Connor.
Yeah.
No, do
Yeah.
you want to take a break from this and maybe wait
Yeah.
for him? I think there's too much cloud cover that's
It's too much cloud
intercepting
cover.
the frequency.
Yeah, in New England, we're getting a lot of rain, and it's affecting what we normally did. The other time with Chesno and I, we had clear weather, and we didn't have this interference, and people actually heard things on the other frequency. So I'm going to do this without the radio. I'm going to ask for Godico to come through. The other night, though, when we were on for a brief moment, I did hear the voice of Godico. We had no radios or anything. And if any of you were on, you heard it. We had it for like a split couple of seconds, him coming through. CMEs are coming to you. I think we got the solar flares from the storm. That's pretty wild. So, that should intensify things. And also the solar storm could disrupt communications with Godico because they're on a spaceship. Those solar storms could affect communications tonight. And I never even thought about it. I didn't even think about that. No solar storm, we have communications. So I'm happy to just say we'll try to make one more attempt, and we'll be willing to interview people. And if Godico comes through when we're talking to people, that can happen too. The other thing that is interesting about the communications is even when we have guests on, if I hear static on somebody's end, it usually means that they're using the static of somebody else's phone. And if the static builds on their end, that allows them to communicate. It's pretty weird. It's not like a finite science of any sort that one can look at and say, this is a science, because you can throw science out the window because there's no way you can utilize earth-based science for this. And Julie, you're right. We will be successful. We've had many successful contacts here, and I'm fine. If it doesn't happen tonight, it will happen. We're gonna definitely have it happen. And I really appreciate my co-host doing what
it's
he's doing.
most likely going to be on Geico's terms, not ours.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah. Geico's terms. We don't control when communication happens. And there are things that the space people are doing on their ships. They're doing other things. They're not just sitting around waiting for us to communicate with them. They have things to do. They have things to do. They're watching our planet. They're here. So they have lots of things going on. We're here sitting in our homes or wherever we are. They're traveling around in a spaceship, and they're really, really, really close to Earth. I don't know exactly where they are right now, and we're very close. They're very, very close. I've dedicated most of my adult life when I woke up to contact. And many times I would meditate and say, when is it going to happen? When are we going to make contact? When am I going to find out who I'm contacting that is connected with the galactic levels? When is that going to happen? And I'm sure other people have felt that way, right? But it feels good.
Absolutely.
Doesn't it feel good to know that what we're doing here is real? We're not sitting around channeling some imaginary thing and saying, here, I'm going to channel the flower. And let me channel the flower tonight. It's a special event with a flower. And the flower is going to speak to you. No. Everything I have to do has to be real. If it's not real, I don't do it. What we're doing tonight is real. Whether we have successful contact, we haven't lost anything because we are trying to do something that is real. And that's the most beautiful thing in the world, to keep it real. If you're going to teach somebody something about the universe, keep it real. If you're going to teach somebody something about our space brothers, keep it real. Keep the information real, because if it's not real, people are going to know right away. People are just smart. People know, they do.
Absolutely.
So,
I agree with you, Commander. And, I feel like, we have communication all the time. We have people come in the show constantly sharing their stories and their experiences with contact. We have that experience every time we hear someone's story. And so, yes, having direct communication might be fabulous, but I feel like we do already have that, and we already experience it in the room, and that's what makes this program so special. I know Chenzo and I were talking about it just earlier today or yesterday. We were chatting text messages over that, and I feel like that's that's what the show's all about. And we're independent, and you're right about channeling the flower. I just feel like we're a collective in here now, and we're practicing.
Yeah,
Practicing.
and we are, and it's a good thing. Everyone's learning from this show. Everybody, when I do these contact shows now, everybody here, I'm sure, is learning something. I'm learning something. I'm always learning something new. I don't see anything as being a loss or anything being, it didn't happen, I should give up. No, you're not giving up.
There's no ceiling on knowledge.
No, and Godico doesn't want us to give up. He made contact through my app with the Billie Holiday song. That was the first contact, the music. They were close to here when that happened.
Yeah, and the crew in the chat, they've got so many interesting and really smart ideas and thoughts, and I just love reading through the comments. It's fascinating, So someone was saying just a minute ago about being open to telepathic messages. I totally agree with that, Margaret. And I think we do this, and this is a part of our CE5 protocol. So when we go out, unfortunately here in our area, it's very cold and inclement. So we can't really go out, and be comfortable and at ease meditating. And so this is a great opportunity for us here to be kind of practicing some of the CE5 protocol and, you know, and using the frequencies, which I was, you know, getting ready with my voice recorder too, and to just continue. But I can play back the voice memo that I recorded the last time we were working with John.
Yeah.
And, you know, I can let people hear what we heard. If there's anyone in the room that hasn't heard of that.
If you're going to play a recording, Grace, of Godico, right?
Yeah.
She has a recording of Godico, so yeah.
It was the recording that we had, I can't remember the guy's handle that was in from Arizona, I think it was. I can't think of his name, but anyway, we had a gentleman in the room with us, and he was helping. He's Native American. Do you guys remember his handle?
Are you talking about Ed?
Yeah. Oh, Ed,
Soul Healer.
Ed.
Yeah.
Ed of the
I couldn't
Star.
think of his handle for something there.
Yeah.
What
Star
was it?
Nation.
Oh, Star Nation. Is that his handle, Star Nation?
You're
Soul
talking about
Healer.
Ed Soul Healer. That's the other one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so, you know, he was saying a lot of times with this stuff is to be patient and to, you know, it's practice, because we were hearing during that session pink noise, and, you know, you don't hear that very often. Someone in the comments said kind of sarcastically that it reminded them of the movie White Noise, and I thought, well, no, this isn't exactly what we're trying to do here. This is more like pink noise. So in the very soft and subtle frequency, we are hearing like we were hearing puffs of wind, or this like swooshing of sound coming in and out. It was not a directly, you know, just very continuous. White noise is continuous. It doesn't vibrate or move.
Right.
And
that's
so
this
is a different experience we're having. So, and that's not our intention here at all.
No.
We're not looking to, like, you know, communicate with spirit or anything like that.
No, we're not doing that here.
So I'm going to find the recording and just see if I think this is it. I'll just double check it. All right, I'm going to mute for a second. I'm just going to double check it.
All right.
And I'll be back on in a minute.
Sounds good. And you're watching Encounters, the contact show tonight. And while she's doing that, Godico, can you hear me? Godico, I know there's a lot of interference with the solar geomagnetic storm from the sun. It's hitting pretty heavy. Godico, if you can hear us, say something. Try to communicate. It might be difficult because you're on a spaceship trying to cut through frequency to communicate. Say something, please. Please say something. What is that?
Those are sirens, like.
Oh, siren! Oh, you have sirens on your end?
Yeah, they went by. Yeah.
Okay.
They're going away.
Oh, that's what it is. It is sirens. What town are you in, Chesno? John Connor was
I'm in
asking
Milford.
me. Milford. That's what I told
Milford.
him. And I told him we're in the same state. So we're going to figure out the coordinates for the next time too, because there's something with the coordinates, longitude and latitude. So we're going to figure out the ley lines.
Yeah.
Hey, friends with furs.
Easy. So I've got it. I've got the recording. I'm gonna just right out of the gate. It's amazing. So let me go back to the beginning.
Yeah.
Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
I'm gonna start.
Oh, wow.
So if you can listen to that sound and like go through the pink noise and listen for the communication, because to me this sounds a lot like the tones of the crop circle. So I'll continue, and just keep that in mind.
Yeah. They're coming in really strong. Carol Susie just said she heard a low. Interesting. Wow. They're really trying to come through.
Now I want you to look at the shapes. I'm going to come off my green screen and I'm going to show you the shapes of this sound because it's fascinating to me. So now I'll hold this up while I play it and you can look, can you guys see the screen?
They're amplifying their voices through frequency. And that's what you're hearing. When you're hearing their voices. This is CmdrAleon calling on our star system brothers from the star system Sirius on the ship. Getico, can you hear me? Please come through. Getico. I'm talking in a certain mode of operation and that they'll understand me. Getico, if you're out there with the other beings, please let people know you're here. Getico.
So I feel like if we analyze, now can you see the shape of the frequencies?
Mm-hmm. To
me, it's like a, there's a real growth in the one, when there's definitely communication going on in this.
Mm-hmm.
And there's huge growth, you know what I mean? If you look at it, it's flat and then there's a lot of growth.
Yeah.
And that is what we sound like, when we speak, right? So I'm speaking and then I stop speaking and then line goes flat. And then I start speaking again and I stop speaking and the line goes flat. So that's what the frequency is doing in this. I just find this fascinating just to kind of watch the how the lines move.
Right there. And right there. A couple people said they heard yes. So the people that are hearing yes, I want you to be the translators and for me here. So Getico, where are you located? Where is your ship now? Getico, where is your ship now? Please respond. Please respond. You see those spikes? That's where they're speaking. Now it's flattened out again. When the spike's up, a big spike, that's when they're communicating. It sounds like they're trying to talk. Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. True, hypnotically says many voices. Oh, interesting. Oh, Grace is recording the frequencies. Look at that. So Grace is recording the frequencies that we're hearing.
So basically that's Commander talking in the program that we were recording. And so every time Commander asked a question, we would get a puff.
Right.
So let's put it on again.
As Grace was saying, when you're looking at this, you can, when it spikes up, there's a big one right there. Those big spikes are when they're communicating with us.
Yeah, I was saying something was coming through.
It's absolutely pink, it's pink noise. There's definitely a difference between like the sound of white noise, because white noise is just like static. And I think, guys, you have to be really careful, like with these films that you watch and things you read, because they're designed to scare, they're really just out of whack. And so anyway, I felt like this recording was hugely successful, and that was on November 24th.
And not only that, my friend Al Robinson from our radio station at WESU was at the station the other week when Zydeco came through, and John Connors called me up at the station. Zydeco spoke. We got all the audio, just like Grace is showing here, on the radio station. So we're trying to get one. We're hoping that they didn't erase it, because the Studio B is where it was recorded. And I'd be ashamed if it was erased.
And it just continues. Look at this, Commander. I mean, it just went on for a long period of time. It was a 14-minute recording, almost 14 minutes. And then after the first 4 minutes, it started to like just peak and quiet down. And then we went into 5 minutes, and then it started again.
Wow. And again, what we're doing is we're weeding out, because we're using radio frequency, we're weeding out the radio station interference and space noise. Now, when we did this that other couple of nights ago, whenever we did it, whatever it was, last Friday or whatever it was, we went to a frequency. We're on 1710 AM. We didn't have all this interference, like because of the rain and the solar storm is affecting all the radio stations, bouncing all over the place. We had a clear night, no solar activity of the nature we're having right now with the CME flares, and we had communications happening on that frequency. So what we're all learning here, Grace, myself, Chesno, as we facilitate all this, and of course John Connors, when we get him back on here, is that we are learning how to communicate through frequency. And we're learning to understand that our space brothers can operate through certain frequencies. They can go pretty much to any frequency, but they will look for a clear frequency of communications. And when they find that frequency, then we have contact. When we align to the same frequency, we can actually communicate with each other and speak with each other. If we're not on the same frequency, the communications will not happen. So we're learning very quickly here in the last few weeks, very rapidly, about how this works. Before that, I never thought about the frequencies, but now everything is about the frequencies. Every single detail is about the frequencies. So we are committed to doing this. I mean, they made the contact first. They contacted me first, out of the blue moon. They said they'd been watching me from where they are. And they're from a long way away from here. They're from the star system Sirius. I remember I think the name of their planet started with a letter B, but I don't remember in the star system Sirius where it is exactly. But they had told us on one of my programs I recorded. But they are definitely here. Now that contact has been made, this is what I'm told. I talked to John Connors about this afternoon off the TikTok. They are excited. And John Connors told me they're excited. Thank you, Celeste. They are so, they are, do you know how excited these beings are from where they are in their system? How excited they are. And I can only imagine the word gets out throughout that whole region of the Sirius constellation. There are many, many different planets there with people that are human like us that are more spiritually evolved. Do you know how that's going to get out throughout the whole planetary world out there about us making contact? Could you imagine what people out there are thinking about us now? Can you imagine? And I want you to imagine what we've done here. We've not just initiated contact, or they initiated it with me, but it's not just for me. The contact, it's like I said, I'm the receiver. And now the receiver is letting everybody out here know that we have contact. All these well-known people on these documentaries on Discovery and History Channel, Ancient Aliens, all these people have no idea what we've done. They don't even know I exist or what we're doing here. They don't know about Chesno or about Grace or about some of the other people or about John Connors. They don't know. And that's okay. They can keep searching for the ancient structures and all these things, and we're here in real time making contact and being contacted because it was meant to happen. You know how things are meant to happen? Sometimes there's a certain synergy of energy, a synchronicity is what I'm thinking of. This was done in complete synchronicity. The universal timing of this was perfect. You know, it was completely perfect. John's able to communicate. John's able to communicate. He's been communicating with him. He's been getting information from him. I'm going to show you a picture. No, I'm not going to show the picture because it's a rendition of what their space outfit looks like, but it's not totally accurate. But they have a golden thing on their spacesuit that allows them to. It's like a conductive thing of energy. And I got an audio clip here from Godico in English that John sent me this afternoon that I got to figure out how to put it on here. I haven't figured that out yet, but I want to play it on here, and you can hear him responding. So Godico is really, really interested in me, and his people are. I say people, space people, or his civilization. So we have a great responsibility. Not only that, I have a responsibility more than I've ever had before in my whole life. You have to understand something. I am still mulling everything over. It feels like there's still things I'm learning here. I'm still trying to figure everything out. I always tell people I don't know everything. And if someone ever tells you they know everything, don't trust them. I don't know everything. I don't. What I do know, I share. What I don't know, I want to learn, but I want to learn it from a cosmic understanding of truth, not from some website that someone created with their own ego, Now, when you're talking to somebody from another planet, it's and clear communications. There's nobody channeling anybody. They're telling you, here we are, And again, when John told me they were excited to make the communications, I felt excited because they've been looking to communicate. No one would listen. Or people didn't hear them, but I did. I heard them. I listened. My consciousness was open that night, and it's always open. But I heard them through the music. It changed my whole life. My whole life has been, even though I'm awakened, I am now awake to another level of consciousness. Do you understand what I mean? If this happened to you, and you had something like that happen, and you heard the music come on, and a certain song came on, and that song by Billie Holiday, I'll never forget it. At the end of the song, it says, "I'm going to the moon, and I'll see you soon." That was the most important part of the song. I'm going to the moon, and I'll see you soon. I'm going to the moon, and I'll see you soon. And boy, they did see us soon. They did get the message across. And I didn't just turn it off. I listened. I heard it. And the contact was made. So the person that's saying I'm talking fictional stories, we will now depart you from planet Earth. You are now going to be bye-bye. Have fun. Over and out. You see, the commander, some people would get like distorted and angry because I am totally awakened. I just take the person out. I don't care. That's how I operate. So they went, bye-bye.
Mm-hmm.
So now they're never going to learn anything. Well, they might eventually learn something after they start thinking about what they did, but it doesn't matter anyway. The question is, Blondie says, would I go with them? I'm going to tell you a story. And John Connor mentioned this to me, and I'll share it with you because he can't get on here. He's contacted with them, and a message he sent me today on my message thing was, Commander, would you like to go? I said, we're going to meet them. And he says, we're going to meet them. You mean physically? And I think he meant yes. I'm going to have to talk to him more about that tomorrow or over the weekend. I want to get more details about that. So if he's saying we're going to physically meet them, and your question is, would I go with them? As long as we are brought back to planet Earth, I would go for the journey. Yes. As long as I can come back here, I would go for the journey. Because my beingness is to be here and to help people. And I think if they took us on their ship, it would be to give us information to share about their planet, about where they live, about the universe, and to come back with information as messengers to help people on our planet unconditionally in a very loving, beautiful way. So yeah, I've been asked that question, I think 2 or 3 times since this has happened. And I wouldn't go anywhere unless I told everybody what was happening. And then I would want to consider bringing my whole family with me to that point of contact if they were willing to go. So, it's a big deal, to think, are you being invited to go on their ship? And I think that is what is going to happen. All right. I really feel in my heart, and you can tell me if you think I'm wrong about it, but I go by feelings, and I feel they want us to learn something. This is the initial part of contact. It's going to be verbal, audio, and then eventually it's going to be face to face, and when I talk to Godico again, and it might have to be through being on the phone with John Connors to do this, I will ask him, are you inviting us to go on your ship to your planet and then come back to Earth? That will be my question. Oh, thank you, Loretta.
Commander, I'm checking out the Auto Spectrum Analyzer, app, and to tell you honestly, it looks like our voice memo recording. It can do the exact same thing as the analyzer, the Auto Spectrum Analyzer. So I guess it's like a spectrogram analyzer is what we need next, but I feel like that is going to give us the same thing that we have in the voice recording memo, because we already have we can tell by, oops, wait a minute, let me get my green screen off. We can tell by looking at the frequencies that there's something going on there.
Yeah.
It's no doubt that
you can see it right there. Grace is documenting everything. We're documenting everything that's going on, folks. So we're not like, go ahead.
Absolutely. I think that what we need to do is we need to listen to this again and again, and with headsets on, and just see if, because when I remember we had the initial program, it was, I was able to receive information, but, it doesn't necessarily mean that that information was correct.
Yeah.
But what I received that night was through the pink noise, it was telling us to stay focused and stay joyful. And we are connecting to you as a consciousness to help, and they're connecting to help us. And they were saying that we are in the future. So that,
and they
like,
are, it's wild. They're in the future.
We are you in the future. We are you in the future. So, yeah, so that was what I got. And then I got, the other thing I wrote was, I hear. I hear. So, and just by doing this periodically and just recording what, but that particular night, It was, I don't even remember Chesna, were you in the room when we were doing that too?
I think he was. Oh,
When
he
was
was. He
this?
was.
Yeah,
Uh,
pretty
on
think
the
I was.
24th with Ed?
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean that was an extremely powerful night,
Absolutely. I agree.
and I feel like if we can keep practicing and doing that, like we do the C5s, we can kind of concentrate on doing that throughout the winter,
Mm-hmm.
and then we can sit and analyze the recordings and see if we get a download of some sort, a telepathic download. Because, and I feel like this is precious. This is like a precious recording.
It is. It really is.
And then
Let
we
me
can
see.
keep doing it.
I'm going to see if I can bring the recording that John Connor sent me on here. Give me one moment. I might be.
Okay. Yeah.
Were you in
So
John Connor's live earlier?
me? No.
Yeah, no. I guess he got
I,
kicked off, but
oh,
what else
oh,
is new, right?
well, when I saw I went on his page and I noticed that he got reinstated and I was like, yay. And then I come here to find out that he had gotten knocked off again. So I don't know what he was up to. I guess we can chat about that later.
Mm, yeah,
Wow.
definitely.
Bummer.
It's a constant thing. He should make a backup account and anticipate him getting like bananaed.
Yeah, absolutely. Because if you go radical sometimes and you go like a little bit, TikTok does kind of, I mean, I know one other woman, she's banned across all platforms and she's incredible. And I won't mention her name here. I won't even type her name anymore because I got my first,
Okay.
I forget the language, but I got my first like video taken down because I had mentioned her.
Oh, really?
I got an audio of the being. I don't know if you heard it. I was just playing it now. I don't know if it's going to come through. Hold on a minute. I'm
You
going
were
to play
with
it
us,
now.
Loretto, that night. Yeah, it was beautiful, wasn't it?
Okay, I'm back. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. I couldn't play it. I will have to. What I'm going to do is see if I can send you a copy of the audio. I'll figure that out. But I wish I could play it. I was wishing I can take the audio that's on my phone that he sent me and play it over here on the show. You can actually hear Godico speaking in English. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, we need to hear that. Yeah, I'd like to hear that.
And how did you get it, Commander? Did John send it to you?
John sent it to me. He recorded a couple of recordings on audio with Godico, and he sent me one in English. Godico was speaking in English.
How did he send it to you? Through TikTok?
No, not TikTok. He sent it to me on my private message. I have his number. He has my number, so we're able to communicate.
And you can't play it because you're on your device now?
Yeah, I can't play it because I'm on my device. I have to figure that out.
Yeah. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
You know what I would do is, do you have a tablet?
Yeah, I do have a tablet. I have to charge it up.
Yeah, charge up your tablet, and then you should have a voice memo in your tablet.
Yeah, if I can send
And
it to
you
my
could record
tablet,
it from there.
then I can play it on here. My tablet's not connected to the internet right now, so I'm gonna have to do that. I will do that.
Yeah, it's pretty, and you know what you mean? I don't know. Yeah, you probably will have to connect to the internet to use it. It depends on what tablet, but
Yeah.
it should come with it depending on the tablet. And if not, you can always download it. But I didn't know this, but I was doing paranormal investigating for a while, and we used to use this all the time. And it was to me more effective than, and we never wanted to play with the spirit box because it was just
Right.
not advanced enough.
Right.
So we went with the voice memo recordings, and I have quite a few here still from all those. Oh my God. I even, would go to, and this sounds creepy, but we got started to do investigations at wakes. and it was really wild.
Yeah. Well, this audio
At a wake,
here,
you know, we're just fucking
yeah,
around.
but, yeah, yeah, but on this audio, when you hear this audio from Godico when he speaks English, I can hear it. The only thing we have to do is amplify it. And I'm thinking if I can get it to you, Grace, you can probably put it on your system and amplify the audio.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I'll try to send it to you.
Yeah, definitely. But if you can get it on your tablet on voice recording, and then I just have a little Bluetooth speaker,
Yeah.
and I'm just using that tonight, and it's working fabulous. Like
Yeah.
this thing is great. This is a little boy's, but it's all you need. It doesn't have to be overly complicated.
Yeah.
And everyone at home can do it too. You guys can do it too if you are, working on meditating and you feel like you're getting downloads and receiving. I mean, there's going to be frequencies. And someone said in the chat earlier that I thought was so cool, is that our brains are frequencies, and yes, absolutely they are.
Yeah.
And so I feel like we're probably the biggest receiver of anything.
Yeah.
These are all just outside resources that kind of enhance already what we are. And so they're an extension of us, basically.
Yeah. And I was thinking, while we're doing this, I get the feeling, and we might have nothing coming through. Can we go back to 1710 a.m. for a minute? I don't know why, but we'll go there for a minute. Is that 1710? Oh, good. It seems a lot clearer now than it did earlier. So we're going to do an attempt to make contact again. Okay, that's perfect. Godico, can you hear me? Godico, this is CmdrAleon speaking. Can you hear me? This is CmdrAleon from the Ashtar Command speaking, Godico. This is CmdrAleon speaking from the Ashtar Command levels on a frequency with you. Can you hear us? Can you hear us? If you can, respond, please. Godico, respond. We're going to try to do the communications again, folks. Godico, can you hear me? Please respond. It's perfectly good now. Godico, can you hear me? Please respond. Everybody focus. I want everyone now to focus again. We're going to experiment with communications. We're going to try to make contact with Godico. Godico, this is CmdrAleon calling you. Godico, this is CmdrAleon calling you. Can you hear me? I'm being repetitious on purpose. Godico, this is CmdrAleon. Can you hear me? I know you're there. You're out there on the ship. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Godico, this is CmdrAleon speaking. Can you hear me? Godico, can you hear me? This is CmdrAleon speaking. Godico, please come in. Can you hear me? Godico, please come in if you can hear me. Godico, this is CmdrAleon. Please come in, please. Please respond to our communications. Over. Godico, this is CmdrAleon here on Encounters. Can you hear me? Nothing yet, and we are experimenting. So if you're coming in here, we are doing an experiment of contact. Godico, can you hear us? Godico, can you hear us? Please come in. It's a lot clearer on the frequency now than it was earlier. There was a lot of interference, but it's really clear the way it should be. Godico, please come in. This is CmdrAleon speaking. We wish to communicate with you. Are you there? Are you on the frequency? Come in. Everybody focus. Please focus now. Put all your consciousness on the name Godico. Every single person. Celeste says reply was not yet. Who's beeping? Is that somebody else out there?
That's one of my phones. Sorry.
Oh, your phone's on. No problem.
Yeah, it's like a notification.
Oh, notification. Yeah. Godico, can you hear us? Godico, can you hear us? This is CmdrAleon communicating with you, waiting for communications. And for people coming in here, we've been having, for new people, you might not figure out what we're doing here. We're trying to communicate with a space being that communicated with us a few weeks ago and has been communicating with us. And tonight we're trying to facilitate that communications again. D-Rock says it sounds like they want to communicate. I do believe they do. It's I think the electromagnetic solar storm is affecting the ability right now tonight. It's disrupting the frequency. Hey, Jessica. The frequency is really cleared up on 1710. Godico, can you hear me? Godico, please come in so people can hear your comments. If you're in the same frequency, please come in. And I've got to tell you, it's a lot of work to do what I'm doing right now. You wouldn't think, you're thinking, well, what is he doing? What I am doing is putting all my conscious energy into this to communicate with him. Could you imagine how they are trying to communicate with us on a frequency? I'm trying to take every single aspect of consciousness to communicate with him right now. Hey, Levick, welcome back. Welcome, Lee, and all the new people coming in here. This is, hey, Dimitri, this is what I call our contact show tonight. We're going to be doing at least once a week a special contact show to make contact with Godico. Not yet, Jessica. We're still attempting communications. But it has cleared up a lot. That's right. Exactly right there, Levick. Everybody express the name Godico in your mind's eye. Every single person. If you all put that focus on Godico, thank you, Jessica. If everybody right now focuses on putting Godico in your consciousness, that will be very powerful. That's a frequency of energy being shot out into space that will affect the ability to communicate. So let's all do it right now. 1, 2, 3. Put that conscious communications to Godico, a mass communications of consciousness, and just express the name. They could have, Julie. I think they have, which is okay because John is able to still get communications from them. And we're going to get John back on here on TikTok. I want everybody to make sure on your profile you go down to contacting TikTok and tell them to reinstate John Connors. I want everybody to do that. Here's the link between him and me. We're the link between us and also on this show. Chesno has been doing a wonderful job. Grace has been analyzing the the audio footage, analyzing it. We're really trying to analyze every single aspect of what we're hearing. You know, what we're doing here is very serious. What we're doing here is serious because they made contact with us. And there's not anybody on YouTube or on Facebook or whatever having this kind of thing happen. At least that I don't know, unless it's private. There's no real reason. I think it was all the algorithm, their computer system, Sonic. I think they just, the algorithm makes decisions that are inaccurate, and we have to, sometimes the AI computer system on TikTok makes the wrong decisions for no reason. So we want to get John Connors back on here. He's going to be a regular part of the show once years ago, yes, Arlene, years ago I did. Oh, there you go. Godico, can you hear me? Godico, please come in. Godico, this is CmdrAleon. We're on 1710 AM, a frequency here on Earth. Can you hear me? And again, we are getting some interference because of the solar storm that's going from the sun to the Earth. It is affecting all communications, and it could be disrupting our frequency. I'm pretty sure it is.
So, Commander, listen to this for a minute. I'm just going to play this, and I want you guys to tell me what you think about it. You hear that?
Yeah.
I'm going to play it again. Ready? It sounded like the C5 tone from the crop circle.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay, let me think.
You go back one more time, play it one more time. Isn't that unbelievable?
It is. It sounds like a tone from a crop circle.
So we were getting at some point, there was some type of, and this is what I was showing you guys about the shapes of the frequencies that I thought was really fascinating. I don't know if you could see this.
Thank you,
it's kind
Captain.
of small.
Mm-hmm.
But
And what
those
you're looking at, and those are the
shapes
charts, right?
remind me of
Mhm.
the Triton crop circle.
Oh yeah. I see
Same
what you're saying.
shapes.
Yeah. Same shapes.
So this is what they sound. This is what that sounds like.
No, it's not a radio station. Okay.
Hold on, let me go back. Hold on 1 second. Okay.
Wisdom people says you're in the ocean.
Battery 100%. Connected to iPad.
What is that?
That's my speaker.
Oh, okay.
That's the pink noise.
Yeah, that was an amazing night that night. I remember that. Now you have music coming through it. That could be a radio station, though. On 17th. No, it's not a radio station? Okay. I hear music. Yeah, we heard flute music. We had flute music coming through. We had some really wild things
We
happening.
kept getting a mixture. So that was like around 8 minutes.
Yeah.
And then we started to get. I'm going to just check 8:46.
Yep. That's interesting. They're playing classical music.
Okay, here we go. Now we're at 8:56.
It sounds like flutes. Yeah, we're hearing flutes. It is classical music. I thought I heard angels singing too, Michael, before. It sounded like angels speak.
So our best time frame was at the first. Hold on, between 2 minutes.
Thanks, Jackie.
And let's go back to about 2 to 5. I'd say so. It's around 3 or 4 minutes of just that pink noise.
Mm-hmm.
In the very beginning. Here we are.
Oh, yeah. You hear that. Now, what you're hearing there, to me, and I remember that night clearly, is the breath of a voice. The breath, like, I'm here. They're coming in really strong. Lieber Kim says we should ask questions because we got responses the other time. So, okay, we should do that. We'll ask some questions right now in a minute.
So, yeah, I mean, we can give it a shot. I mean, this is the thing. This is what this session is about. You know, it's experimenting and it's exploring.
Yeah. I wonder if you go to the 5:30 a.m. frequency, Chesno, what is that like now? Is it calmed down or is it still noisy? We're going to go to 5:30. When I was talking to John Connors earlier today, or this evening, he heard me coming over 5:30 a.m. That's 5:30 a.m.?
Yeah.
It's better than it was earlier. Earlier it was messed up. So we're going to stay on 4:30 a.m. where we had contact with Godico. So I'm going to ask Godico to come in on 5:30 a.m. Godico, this is CmdrAleon. Godico, this is CmdrAleon. And John Connors tuned it to 5:30 a.m. where he was in Arizona. My voice was coming through his AM radio. Now, I can't, how does that happen? I don't know. But that evidently, is an open frequency. So I'm gonna try to see if Godico can come in on this. Is where he is. Godico, we're on 5:30 a.m. on an Earth-based frequency. Can you hear us on 5:30 a.m.? Godico, please come in. This is CmdrAleon. Oh, my cat's here. Godico, where are you? Godico, please come in. Oh, it's nice and clear on 5:30 now. Godico, can you hear me? Godico, this is CmdrAleon. If you're there, please come in. Oh, it's nice and clear on here now. This is great. This is the frequency that we're supposed to be on. Godico, I am CmdrAleon. Can you hear me? Godico, can you tell me where you are right now? Where are you located? And we'll take questions here too. We're going to see if we can, by questions, get a response. So we will do that. We're going to take questions from everybody out here, and we'll see if we actually get a response, okay? Godico, where are you now? Where's your spaceship? Where's your spaceship, Godico? Welcome, King David. Godico, where's your spaceship? Can you tell me where your spaceship is right now? Do they sleep? I think they do. Godico, can you hear me? Where are you now? Where's your spaceship located? Are you near the planet Earth? Where are you located right now, Godico? Wow, look how clear it is.
Reading notes.
Godico, please, if anyone has a question, please let me know. We'll ask the question and see if we get a response. So if you have a question, we'll see if they respond. Lynn, welcome to our show.
You asked where they were located. I have no idea.
We can tell you in general where they're located as people, They come from the Sirius constellation. 790 hertz. John Connors had it on 5:30 in Arizona this evening when I talked to him earlier. 5:30 a.m. So if you're just tuning in, we're really listening for some sound or some voice response here. That's why we're not always talking. Through the static, we're trying to hear them if they are coming through. It's getting really quiet. Yeah, the solar storm, I think, is interfering with communications. Honestly, I had not focused on the solar storm tonight, but I think that's what it is. It's even disrupting our communications with Gattaco.
I think so too, Commander. I think it might
Yeah.
be.
Yeah, I really do think it's a storm.
Move the rabbit ears a little bit. Do you have an antenna on that radio, Chesno?
No.
No. Okay.
But it's really a lot clearer than it was. I wish we didn't have the solar storm. I do believe what we're going to do is next Friday night, I'm pre-setting up another special event on Friday night to make contacts. So I'll be posting that on TikTok in the next, over the weekend, I'll create the event. It'll be again at 11 p.m. So we're going to dedicate once a week to making contact. Now, if Gattaco comes through on his own, whenever he just wants to come on when I'm on here, he'll do it. And I'm not going to be the one to say no, but we don't control the contact. We just don't. But I think the efforts we put in tonight were pretty amazing. We didn't have anything that I can think of. I didn't feel anything coming through. But, with the solar storm, it kind of did mess things up a bit. And, again, when the solar storm from the sun hits and affects our communications, can you imagine how it affects intergalactic communications? We don't think about that, but the effects are certainly great in that respect. So we're learning, as we're doing this, we're learning that maybe there are things that will affect and disrupt communications from the solar storms of our sun, which we know affects internet and affects everything else on Earth. So, yeah. And also, please subscribe. If you haven't subscribed to what we're doing here, become a subscriber. I'm looking to get 100 subscribers for our CE5 project. Chesno and Grace are part of our Connecticut group. And we're going to use that to help raise money for CE5 equipment.
So we need a little theme music going.
Yeah. But, it's just really, it's so true for us to want to see contact. And we are going to now take this to whatever level Godico and the space people wish us to take it to. I do believe there will be a time when we will actually go aboard their ship. And I just briefly talked about this with John Connors today. And I will read the message. So give me a second here.
Good song. Turn it up.
Isn't it a great song? I love the intro when she says, "I'm from outer space."
Yeah, that's cool.
She's a great artist. Heavily protected. We have a little dance party.
And the comment that John Connors mentioned to me, John Connors in my messaging through my phone messenger thing said, in the messaging thing, he said they're going to meet me, and he said, do you want to come? I said, of course. So he is in communications with Godico, even though he's not on here, which is good. So they're actually saying that they want to have a physical contact. So that's going to be something that we're going to have to figure out, because I don't know how the space people are going to do that. I mean, my inner guidance tells me either they're going to have to land a smaller craft to take us on board their ship. I don't know if they can beam us on board their ship. I have no idea. Okay. I have no idea. But I do know that that's what they want to do, is get to the next level with us. You know, they initiated the voice contact, like I said, a few weeks ago here where I am at my location. And I do believe very sincerely in my heart that they want to figure out how to physically meet us. Physically meet us. I don't have any perceived notions of what that is. I don't even know. And this is the part of me that tells you I don't know everything. And this, I certainly don't know how this is going to work. You know, they probably know better than we do how they're going to do this. And we'll figure this out in the next few weeks, how they are going to facilitate that physical contact. But John Connors mentioned it to me in the messaging offline here. And I think that we have the potential for the first contact. Others have made contact with physical beings back in the 50s and 60s, people that are not alive anymore, that are passed on. I think we are a new generation of people that are going to have this kind of facilitation of contact. And I think we have to be, very aware of what's going on and how it's happening as we move on here. Anything I know and John knows when we get him back on here, we'll share everything we can with the space people that we're in contact with. We'll do that here. We're coming up to near 1 o'clock in the morning. We started a little bit before 11. You know, she's got the music on. That's a good song.
Having a little dance party tonight down.
Is that the Billie Holiday song?
No, that's David Bowie.
Oh.
You guys, you know who David Bowie is, right, Tezo?
Yeah.
You must know, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have Billie Holiday?
I sure do.
Okay, the song is, if you find the song and it ends with "We're Going to the Moon," I forgot the name of the song. Does somebody remember that song? Anybody a big Billie Holiday aficionado or fan of Billie Holiday's music? I think it's "We're Going to the Moon. We'll see you soon."
Fly Me to the Moon?
No, we're going to the moon. It's not a song about going to the moon. I'll be seeing you. Thank you, Courtney. Play
I'll
the
be
song.
seeing you. Okay.
Yeah. Now, when you listen to that song, that's going to give you an idea what happened to me that night.
I always wanted to be a DJ.
I kind of figured that.
My son-in-law is a DJ, and I just love hanging out with him when he's playing at the club. So much fun.
And Celeste is saying she saw a large UFO the other night. Matter of fact, Saturday night or Sunday night, Celeste, we're going to have you on to talk about that. Here's the Billie Holiday song.
I'll be seeing you in all the old familiar places.
This is the song that happened to play in my daughter's room when I was live on TikTok.
This heart of
I'll be
mine
seeing in all the familiar places. What a line.
all day through.
Wow.
In that small cafe, the park
So dreamy.
across the way, the children's carousel.
I'm gonna give you guys a rose tonight. I got a rose for everybody.
The wishing well.
And listen to the words.
You
So beautiful.
in every lovely summer's day, in everything that's light and gay, I'll always think of you that way. I'll find you in the morning.
I'll find you in the morning.
And when the night is new.
When the night is new.
I'll be looking at the moon.
I'll be looking at the moon.
But I'll be seeing
you. There's a message in that song, right? Do you get the message, people?
I'll be seeing you.
Seeing you.
In every lovely summer's day. In everything that's light and gay. I'll always think of you that way. I'll find you in
I'll find
the
you.
morning sun. And when the night is new, I'll be looking at the moon.
Looking at the moon.
But I'll be seeing
you. They'll be looking at the moon. They'll be seeing. That's the message. Now, how many people understand there's a message in that song? When I got out of my seat, went into her room and was playing that song, I didn't take the thing here to let people hear it because I was like jolted from it. I didn't even expect it. That's after that happened, static started happening on our live one night, and then the being started speaking through the TikTok. Then John Connors and I decided to do something together, and they started coming through. And that's how the communication started. So they initiated it through music. And then we started having verbal communications through TikTok with John Connors and myself. And that's how it all started, you know? Yeah. So that's why things have shifted so much for me. Things are getting very real now. I know anyone who's been watching my show who's been on those lives heard the space being, and some of you have. I know Chesno has, I know Grace has. We have 2-minute recordings on my main page where you can hear the being speak. And so they have a lot to share. They have so much to share about a lot of things. We just have to be able to listen and learn. And I'm hoping as we facilitate more of the communications that we will be able to have this relationship. It's getting up near 1:00 on the East Coast. I think it's time to almost say goodnight. I want people to please follow me. Please like. Thank you for liking. I want people to follow each other. It's really important that everybody connect with each other. The space people would love us to get to be that way, to connect with each other. Even if we don't know each other personally, we are here to connect with each other as brothers and sisters of light. And we're here to facilitate a new way of living on our planet. And I think we're going to learn a lot from Godico and his people, and they're going to learn things from us. It's a two-way street, right? So they're just as excited to communicate with us as we are with them. It's just the way it is. And I'm thinking until, everybody get in touch on your main profile page, contact TikTok tonight. I want everybody committed to getting John Connors back reinstated. And will everybody do that? Please give a resounding yes in your comments. Everybody get John Connors reinstated. I want you to go in your profile. There's a list of things, and then there's one where you can contact TikTok. Everybody contact TikTok en masse. Tell your friends to do it. We want to get hundreds of people to contact TikTok to reinstate John Connors by this weekend. I really want to see him back on here. And I appreciate you doing that, because that's what Love in Action's about, It's about love in actions is mean taking love and put it into action, right? So we're all going to do this together, right? Without ego, we're all going to help each other. We're going to help John Connors. And that's how we create the kind of earth we wish to live on. That's how we show our space brothers this is the kind of humans we are, that we help each other, that we love each other, that we care about each other,
It's another great one. I agree with you, Commander. It's been such a great night to hang out with everybody doing this. I'm gonna continue to work on the message too, that from the 24th. And please send me that information.
Yeah.
Thank you, Arlene. Have you guys ever heard this song? I'm sure you have. Come Sail Away by Styx.
And that song really actually is a song not about a boat. At the end, it's about going on a spaceship.
Such a good song. I met him and I saw him live, and I met him. What a cool guy. Such a good song. So keep practicing, guys, and make sure you do the protection protocol, okay?
And when I sign off of here, I'm going to have to do another thing. To close the portal. Before I close it, I'm going to ask the angels to come in and to guide the spirits that wish to leave, that are here, to go leave, and then we're going to close the portal before I go to sleep.
Thanks, Julie. So nice to hang out with everybody tonight.
Of childhood friends and the dreams we had. We lived happily forever, so the story goes. But somehow we missed out on the pot of gold. But we'll try best that we can to carry on.
Hey guys, don't forget to like and share and with your friends the program. And if you want a gift to support the program anytime, thank you guys. Appreciate all your support.
Yeah, we thank you for all your gifts. If you want to give us some bigger gifts with your TikTok coins, also my Cash App on Venmo. On my main page, go to my link on Venmo. You can make an automatic $5, $10, or $15 donation on my Venmo app. So we appreciate all your gifts, all your donations. I appreciate it. Galaxies, whatever you want to put out there, please do your final gifting for tonight's show to show your support for the work we're doing here.
Let's get Commander up to 50,000 likes, guys. Smash that heart.
Thank you, Jessica. Thank you, Julie. All right. So we're getting to 1:02 in the morning. So we're going to call it a night, everybody. I want to thank all the viewers here who came on Encounters for our special event. I'll be planning another one for next Friday. And we thank you all for being here. I'll thank you on the snapshots. I'll be looking forward to seeing them. And we, again, want everybody to contact TikTok. You go to your main profile page. You see those little black lines. You press that. It gives you all these different options. And when you go there, go to the contact area for TikTok and tell them that you want John Connors to be reinstated ASAP. Everybody. And there are human beings behind TikTok's algorithm, so you'll reach them. So everybody, please do that. Thank you again for listening. Grace, thank you for being here. Chesnos, thanks for doing the frequencies. And I think we had a great show tonight. Again, as long as people know this was an experiment, we didn't come on here thinking what way or the other what was going to happen. But I think we had a beautiful program tonight, and I hope everyone has been inspired to go deeper with this with us. I'm committed to making this happen, and we are going to get John Connors back on here. One way or the other, we're going to get TikTok. If you're hearing me, TikTok, reinstate John Connors now. And that's coming from the Encounters Show, the #1 UFO talk show here on TikTok. We want him back, and we want him back now. Thank you, everybody. Take care. Have a great weekend, and we'll probably see you tomorrow night at some point. Adios.
All right. Thanks.
Good night, everybody.